Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are, I don't even know. It's probably been a month since I've posted a 1927 John Deere D video. And you want to go outside? Go ahead. And between that video and now, I've been sick with the flu. I had a sinus infection, and then I contracted cellulitis on top of it. So I've had a up and down road the last 3 to 4 weeks, but we're back. And in the meantime, while I've been kind of hibernating, I've just been cleaning parts over at Rudy's in the blast cabinet and then bringing them here, coating them with Gliptol, inspecting them, finding more bad stuff, more stuff that I'd rather use a different part or a different piece for, then I'd have to go and clean that up, inspect it. So it's just a process of elimination, I guess. But today we're going to put most of the transmission, sliding gear shaft, bearings, reduction gear together. We won't get the reduction gear on the shaft because I'm filming. You want to come see? You want to come say hi? Come say hi. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Okay, can you go sit down with your tablet?
No.
Okay, you gonna watch me? You gonna watch me? Okay. So we won't get the first reduction gear on the shaft because we need to press it on, but the bearings and everything I should be able to just drive on lightly with a brass drift and a hammer. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And the sliding gears and the circlip. Hold on. And we'll get it most of the way together. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I kind of got a goofy setup with the camera here, but I've got the main shaft here, and we have to drive the flywheel side bearing, which this one's a new departure. It's a 1309 that goes on the flywheel side. And that one just kind of slid right on, which was nice. And then there's a circlip that goes in this groove here above the bearing to keep it in place. Just kind of work it down with your finger. Good to go. So that bearing's in place. Aw, crap. I did it. I did what I didn't want to do. I have to put the sliding gears on first. Okay, let's try this again. You know, I have about a billion different things on my mind all the time, and this is the second time I did that because I did a dry run before I turned the camera on, and this is the second time I put the bearing on before I put the gears on. So let's try this again. And the dog wants to come in. Oh, go. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, the small gear, which is, let's see, is there a part number on it? No, there's not. So the small gear goes on the shaft first, and the collar, where the shift fork rides in, this collar here, goes towards the flywheel side of the tractor. So we're going to go ahead and slide this one on, just like that. And then we put the large gear on. And before we go any farther, let's double check the picture that I took so I don't have to do this for a third time. Okay. It's a good thing I looked. We were wrong. See, this is why we do things with photographs, folks, because, okay, third time's a charm. The collar for the shift fork goes towards the reduction gear side or the clutch side of the tractor. So we got our gears on. Now we can put our bearing on. Again, it's a new departure, 1309. Just like that. Put our clip on. Might need a little screwdriver to pry this down over the edge. There we go. That one's in place. Bearing's good and tight. Now we can flip it over. And don't let the gears bang into the bearing. Okay. Now we have, now this we had to press off, so I haven't had this one back on yet, but it's nice and clean. The bearing's good. This is on the clutch side of the tractor. This is also a new departure, 1309. So we're going to go ahead and slide this into place. And this one we might have to use the brass drift and the hammer to get it down into place. We'll see how it works. Just slowly work it down till it seats. And then the last piece is the reduction gear. And I don't think we're going to be able to put that on without a press. So we've got our reduction gear. This bearing is in place. And then the reduction gear, I believe we just press down until it makes contact with the bearing race. I think. We'll measure this shoulder and then we'll measure the depth of the journal on the gear before we press it on to make sure. There is a large nut that goes onto the end of the shaft and that holds the reduction gear in place, and then it's pinned with a cotter pin. This nut is kind of a little messed up, but I tried fitting the other nut that is in good shape to this shaft and it barely even threads on there. So I'm thinking these nuts were kind of fitted to these shafts because they're a very coarse thread. They're like an inch, I don't even know, 1 inch 10 or 1 inch 9 or something like that. So very, very coarse thread. Here, I'll show you if I can spin it off, but it's a very coarse thread. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 threads or 8 ridges for the threads in probably an inch and an eighth, inch and a quarter span. So it's probably only like an inch, 1 inch 7 or something like that. But it even takes a little bit of finagling to get it on there, because this shaft came out of the 28. Oops, sorry. This shaft came out of the 28. The gears came out of the 27. They were in good shape. So the nut and shaft are mated together. Those are both out of the 28. I think the bearings are out of the 28 as well. So the only thing, the only thing on this shaft that's out of the 27 are the sliding gears and then the first reduction gear, because I was going to use the updated reduction gear that was in the 28, but the teeth were in really, really bad shape. So they had a lot of pawing on the teeth. So unfortunately, we won't be able to use the updated gear, which is a little bit stronger. And that's okay though, because this gear's in good shape. The teeth are in really nice shape. So I think that maybe the 27 did a lot of belt work, maybe a lot of threshing, or because the tractor came out of Nebraska, so I really don't think it was at a sawmill. I would think it probably did a lot of threshing, maybe some plowing, but judging by the wear on the teeth of that, I don't think it did a whole lot of pulling. So I think it did a lot of belt work. But anyhow, that's a quick and easy video, even though we did it 3 times. That's how the main shaft goes together. I'll do kind of a quick glimpse at a second part of the video when we press that gear onto the shaft, but it's really just a simple, put it in the press and slowly work its way on. So before we go though, I'm going to take you into our parts storage room and we will show you the layout of everything we've got ready to go. So since we've been kind of MIA, I've got the clutch collar and clutch dogs all cleaned up and ready to go. I picked the best pins that I could find, which these are really good pins. So those are ready to go. The oil pickup, we put a new brass screen on there, soldered it on, and that's been coated with Gliptol and ready to go. The main bearing carriers for the crankshaft, those are cleaned up, ready to go, coated with Gliptol. The drive sprockets for the rear axles are cleaned up, ready to go. This is the reverse idler gear. These are kind of like stays, and they have oil pockets that collect oil and allow it to drip onto the shaft and be channeled into the bearing with oil grooves cut into the bushings of the, or not the bushings, into the shaft itself. There's a spiral groove cut into the shaft to allow oil to travel into the bushings of the reverse gear. Got that done. Lower water pipes, they're coated with Gliptol inside and ready to go, cleaned up. We have the push rods cleaned up. I'm still debating on whether or not I want to paint these with Gliptol. I might just leave them the way they are. The shift forks and shaft are cleaned up, ready to go, coated with Gliptol. Let's see. Everything else we kind of already did a tour of. I still have to get the crankshaft gear off the crankshaft and install the new one. So I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that. Obviously this will need to be heated up, but I don't know if heating it will expand it enough to allow me to drive it off with a punch and a hammer, and I don't want to damage the crankshaft at all. So still trying to figure that out. I'll have to talk to some people and see what they think. But everything else over here, we've already done tours of the rods, the valve cover and tappets, intermediate gear, the block, the pistons, cam followers, the oil pump, camshaft. Still have to do the magneto. We got some gaskets, we got clutch discs, we've got piston rings and stuff in that box, main bearing shells, all of our axle clamps that I decided to coat anyhow. You burped? Oh my goodness. You say, excuse me? Excuse me. There you go. So this is the clutch drive gear, the clutch pulley drive gear, and the associated parts with that, snap rings, seal retainers, shields, all that stuff. the differential quills and the bearings. So lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. So yeah, that's all I've got as far as an update video and stuff for the D. We are also, I have some behind the scenes stuff going on that I've been working on for months and months, and sounds like it's finally coming to fruition, so that's going to be exciting. I'm not going to disclose anything until we know for sure. But anyhow, that's going to do it for this episode. Hope you guys liked it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for wrenching with me and assembling this transmission shafts, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.